MakingStarWars.net.
We'll see if the mic is working. Can you guys hear me? Just realized that my headphones aren't working. That's not a good sign. It's all about UFOs. I don't know. Can you hear me? And I'll tell you. Like I said, for some reason, there's no audio. Computer audio is working now. Good mic. All right, cool. Just no headphones. Maybe it's doing that old bug where if I don't know if Rob's coming today. I sent him the invite, but I didn't hear anything from him. So we'll see. Oh boy, we're having a good start here today. When I put my headphone jack into my computer, it locked it. That makes sense. Anyways, yeah. So if Rob comes, I might be able to hear him. I might not. We'll see what happens. I think Rob is here now. And oh my God, Dr. Roboto. I don't know if I can
doing in a Nintendo store
right now in this world. So I'm going to change it over to my computer speaker and see if that works. No, nothing works. Everything is broken. Oh, what a day. What a day. I did a lot of recording yesterday. Making up. I was covering Nirvana songs. I was writing Andor songs. I was making up new songs. I was fucking crazy, you guys. And something tells me that's the price. I just heard my computer, though. So, Rob, I want you to tell them a fun story real quick while I turn my interface back on and off and see what happens, okay? Tell them a story about life.
There once was a movie called Star Wars. Oh, okay.
That's weird. You're coming through my computer speakers, even though the headphones are in, dude. It's them, dude. It's the man, dude. Okay. I hate to do this to you, Rob, but you just gotta tell these people a story. I will be right back. 1 second. Good luck.
Guys, I'm not the best at this, you know, when I get left alone on the show. So I'm gonna let George do it, all right? Hey everybody. So one time I got married and I built a library and my wife left me. The end. All right, thanks, George. It's depressing. You know, he's more livelier on Harloff show. I don't know why he's so down. So down. What'd you get for building a library? That's what you get. It's my birthday today. You know what that means? I don't know what it means. It's barbecue day. I get barbecue today. I know. I'm just taking the show downhill. I'd love to talk to you about Pearl Jam and Nirvana, but I'm more of a Stone Temple and Alice in Chains guy, so what can I say? Any validity to the Lars rumors? You know what? Maybe Filoni knows. Hey, Filoni, is there any validity to the Lars rumors? No, man, I can't get him on the phone for anything. He's too busy. He's out making green nights and red nights and rainbow nights and little twinkly star nights. You know, he's just a busy dude. I can't get him. I invite him to the In-N-Out all the time, and he's always at Five Guys, little bitch. All right. Well, thanks, Filoni. So, no validity. You heard right from the source. Yeah. It's pretty good. So we did the Mario trailer bit. And man, you people are just so angry. Someone was like, "It's not Star Wars. What's it got to do Star Wars?" I'm just like, nothing. What does any of this show have to do with Star Wars, really? Like, what did Jason's songs have to do with Star Wars? You know, so I mean, even when Jason has all that accurate info and stuff, they still say it's not real. So I guess even then it doesn't have anything to do with Star Wars. I don't know. Let's see here. You're losing faith, Darth Plagueis, and Acolyte. Well, who cares? You know, they could just have Darth Schmegus, Darth Spumoni. Like they'll, I mean, you guys, your Star Wars lore, you're just gonna have to let it go. You're gonna have to let it go. All of it is meaningless, you know. Darth Nihilism, he'll take over, and then none of it will matter.
Oh,
great.
God damn it. I left you alone for 1 minute and you're telling everybody to give up on Star Wars and to quit it? I knew it.
I will slowly, I just like to see that count go down, Jason. That's my whole goal. Like, every time it goes down, I take a sip. That's how you know.
Yeah.
Of my Attack of the Clones. Because that's how, the Attack of the Clones is a good indicator of when you're going down in viewership. You know what I mean? So
oh, no. Is
what?
it though?
What?
I mean, I don't know. Attack of the Clones actually brought in a whole new audience, surprisingly.
Yeah,
it did.
Well, you know.
No, that was the interesting thing about that time is like Lucas murdered an audience while picking up a different one, but ultimately was treading water. So you can't say like success because he didn't really get further. He just sort of like killed this girlfriend and got another girlfriend, and then was in pop culture prison for the rest of his life for it. When you get down
Rob
to
is
it.
Garth, just so you know.
Oh no!
No, Kim
It's really
Basinger.
fucked up if you not do a sound check before the show, man.
I think what they don't understand is like I enjoy talking to you people, to Jason, but I don't enjoy talking to you people.
Oh fuck!
What?
I'll take it.
What? It's not really a conversation. It's like texting, this whole thing where they write in stuff and then you gotta like. That's why you're a good people person. That's why Jason can go out there and schmooze.
I think
schmoozer.
I think it's relative. I think just my people person skills relative to yours make it seem like I like humanity. I can't stand humanity, but I think you're a little more Thanos about it than I am, maybe.
Yeah, but Jason, I think Jason could actually show up at the World of Nintendo and have a good time, and I would be like, "It's all mine. Leave." Like, you don't deserve to be here. Go to the world's sake.
I'm Richard Pryor, but you're the kid. You're the toy.
The racist kid who wants to own a black man for fun. Yes, you got me.
But it's Italian plumbers in this instance.
My conscience is Ned Beatty. Oh well. I mean, can we do it? I don't, okay, well, we'll try.
All right. So yeah, that's a movie called the Toy. It's a great movie. I like it.
Wonder Wheel.
All right. So let's talk about the old news story du jour. And I'm going to use Besman Bulletin's coverage of this because he's my sister and my half sister by marriage. Rumors of Lars Mikkelsen playing Thrawn in the Ahsoka series arise again. Zabrak stormtroopers rumored. Zabrak stormtroopers! Oh shit! Oh man, that's crazy. You know what? I'm gonna file that under when you have a picture of burned up Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, and it's like on a Kenner package, and you want to send it to somebody, like it's the funniest joke you've ever seen. Ask yourself, you can, but do you want to? I wish Hasbro would just make it. That way I would stop getting sent that picture from relatives on Facebook.
In the order of scoops, it goes Kim Masters, Umberto Gonzalez, Zabrak Stormtrooper. We all know this.
I love Umberto. Do you have do you have like a reproduction of that or something? Because I saw you looking around the room.
No, it's acting, Jason.
Okay. I was like, you motherfucker.
And Umberto is up there because Umberto leaked the Batman Begins script a year before that movie came out. Like the whole fucking, and I will never forget it. You know, like that is fucking when you get the whole script to a Batman movie and you're like, here's the whole you gotta, man, in 2003. Jeez, you know, 2004-ish, right around there. I can't remember.
Snappy dresser. I don't know for who. Himself, I guess. Love yourself. That is the takeaway. Rumors of Lars Mikkelsen playing Thrawn So uh, he wrote "Hello there" because that's what they say in the Star Wars. Before we crack on with this article, I kindly ask that you consider showing your support and appreciation for my work by tipping me via the Ko-fi page here. Pay the fucker. Pay him. Come on. Fucking, what do you think? What do you think this is? Bespin works for free? Give him some money, shitheads. Unless you're
Shouldn't
watching
it be
this show.
Tiffy? They don't drink coffee over there, right? They drink tea.
Yeah, I don't know. I think honestly, I'm pretty
Tiffy.
sure he's from Wales, and I think they
Cuppa.
like drink the blood of their enemies.
It
I
should be
think
cuppa. Cuppa.
a cup of
Yeah, cuppa.
coffee.
I've been there once for like a day. Like I know how it works.
Bespin Bulletin
On a
drinks
tour
the
with
blood
us.
of Kofi Annan. We now have proof.
My buddy was trying to check my UK credentials, and he was like, "All right, so where'd you go?" I'm like, "I was on a bus with Joe's like soldiers. I was 19. I
Dude,
really wasn't paying attention. I just looking at everything. I don't know where we went. Like,
I've never been there, but I fought on many battlefields with
we took the
friends
tube.
from the UK in a game called Fortnite.
We saw the bridge. There were no Daleks. I had some great
Wait,
curry.
the one in Russia?
That was it.
The one in Russia?
Hmm?
Did you see that bridge in Russia? No. Okay. Was that you? Nobody took credit for it. Was it you? If it was you,
Oh,
you
bro,
us.
did you not see Ghost Protocol? We know how this works.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see Ghost Protocol.
We don't know.
I watch rom-coms with my pants off. Okay. It's a topic that's been talked about ad nauseum within the Star Wars fandom. But once again, the topic of
especially
who is
on Meg's
playing...
channel.
Fuck you, Meg.
Meg.
No, I'm kidding. I love you, Meg.
We love you, Meg. Just she won't
yeah.
shut up about it.
Shut the fuck up, Meg, for once. God fucking damn it.
That's all she has in her voice, though. She's mostly corporeal. She just
playing the
floats around
bass,
the
playing
ether.
the bass.
Let Santa keep Santa in his place. I mean, I gotta respect that.
So, ever since the Ahsoka series was first announced back in 2020, fans have long speculated who will be playing the live-action version of the characters Ezra Bridger and Grand Admiral Thrawn. More like Grand Admiral Yawn. Am I right?
Yeah. If it ain't Jack Black, I'm not interested.
You know what? I'm with you. Pretty much since the announcement, Mina Massoud Aladdin and Lars Mikkelsen, The Witcher, have been rumored and popular fan casts for the role. Recently, it was revealed that the role of Ezra Bridger had been cast in the form of Amon Esfandi, not Yvonne. It sounded like they were saying Yvonne. I swear to God, it did sound like they were saying that. Ending rumors and speculation that Massoud would be playing in September. Cinelink's Twitter pander, friendless, fuckhead, reported Esfandi's casting, but he did get it. Good on him. They said does karate in the front yard. It's hilarious. Watch it. I suggest everybody watch him do his karate in the front yard, and you don't have to fuck with him. In sweatpants.
If you think Cobra Kai can be cringeworthy, wait till you see this.
Yeah, more
hold
like
my light beer.
like Cobra wash your sweatpants once in a while.
Hold my Canadian light beer. My Canadian beer, boy.
Okay.
Buddy.
I heard conflicting things on who will be playing Thrawn. Oh, because that's how you get in the mix when you don't know. But most recently,
it's because I keep going on to Reddit and throwing out alternative ideas. They don't like it.
I hope it's some just British fucker that nobody's ever heard of, so everybody could be mad about it, and then they'll come in to be fine and be as lame as it's going to be. No, I honestly feel like whoever is Thrawn, it's just going to be as lame as it's going to be, anyways. Like Thrawn's probably going to be lame in live action. It's just the way it is. I mean, if you were having Thrawn being written by the Andor cats, I would be on board. But we don't have Thrawn being written by the Andor cats. We have Thrawn being written by the people who wrote the equivalent of Commando. Oh, hey, Dave. Sorry,
I have seen The Queen's Gambit like 57 times over COVID. I'm good to go. I can write this.
She's fucking hot, dude. I watched that show like 12 times too. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to get her, but they wouldn't let me do it. So we're going to have to get a dude.
Dave, answer my question. Did you want to
Mm-hmm.
get her or did you want to be her? Because I saw you with that little page boy kind of haircut. I don't know what you call that little haircut and playing chess
Mm-hmm.
in the at the Starbucks next to Lucasfilm. I've seen
He a
you do that a few
cowboy.
times.
He's a cowboy. Yeah. That was based on me back in the
I've
60s,
also
which is
seen
kind
you
of
go for the
what?
bags of pills and just start taking them just like Queen's Gambit
No,
too.
no,
Which
no.
is
Those are
pretty
Mike
fucking
and
metal.
Ike's, buddy. No, no, no. Those are Mike
Oh,
and Ike's. Sorry.
Max.
I gotta go. I gotta go. My order's ready.
Bye, Dave.
All right.
Bye. I'm gonna read the article, Dave. Get out of here. So, anyways, but most recently heard it was Lars Mikkelsen that voiced the character in the animated series Star Wars Rebels. That's a good troll of mine. 6 weeks on from that claim, the editor in chief of Ronin, Christopher Mark, is claiming. Now, right here, I want to stop it really quickly, though.
Such a mark.
No, I just want to throw this out here, though. So, the Ronin, Christopher Mark, they have a very good track record of spoilers and stuff like that in the big picture. The Star Wars stuff is dodgy. It's spotty, but here's the thing that I do know about Christopher is that he would not fake it for clicks. He doesn't do that. Like I've talked to him in the past, the guy just doesn't do that. So what I'm trying to say is if Christopher Mark is saying this stuff, it's not like, well, it's going to be wrong, but it's going to get me a splash today and get me attention. He does not roll that way. Like over the last couple of years, that has been my impression of the guy. So I'm just throwing that out there that I think if he's saying this stuff, he truly does believe it's accurate. It doesn't mean it is. And I don't know. I don't have any insight on this one. Like on the Ahsoka series was kind of like, I found to be like the least interesting of the things to pursue during pivotal moments. But what I'm trying to say is if he's saying it, I believe he believes it. A lot of times these motherfuckers put stuff out and they don't even believe what they're saying. They just want you and your wants to get excited and chase, yeah. That guy. That's not him though. So he's claiming that he has a reliable source working on Ahsoka that's informed them of Mikkelsen playing Thrawn in the upcoming series. Quote, looks like Ahsoka has indeed hired, this is Lads Mikkelsen, but it's Lars, right?
Laddie!
Lars Mikkelsen to play Thrawn in the series. And we'll have his traditional white uniform in the streaming series. So if he has his traditional white uniform, that would, well, I'm getting the big impression
got a
that
whole group of people wearing white Imperial uniforms in Andor. Like this is
okay. No. Why? I'm making an assumption here, but why I'm reading that as being of note is that it means that he's not in his fucking underwear talking to Wilson, like a volleyball named Wilson on some planet, because they get marooned. We don't know if they get marooned. They fucking hyperspace out into the wildness of space. Nobody knows what happened to them. They could have ended up in another Star Wars universe full of opulence with big 3-tittied ladies from Total Recall feeding them grapes. And they're like, why are you coming to get us? Get the fuck out of here. We are cool. Like that could be their, you know what I mean? That could be their like actual like fate, or they could be like enemy mine, and they might be on a moon making babies together, like living off space turtles so they don't get fucking hit with like comets. We just don't really know. So but the thing about it is when you look at what I
that's
heard
my
about,
version of heaven.
When you look at what I heard about Darth Vader, and then you look at Amani having his big beard, and his beard is almost like I don't know what you call it, like a old timey like Green Knight kind of beard that kind of like goes into like a thing with like, it almost looks like he's getting like a fancy fucking like night beard, But anyways, that's what it looks like sometimes. But anyway, that might just be how he's styling it when he's out, because he's like, fuck, I gotta grow this fucking big beard. Maybe I'm just gonna, hipster it up a bit. I don't know. Maybe
his devil stash. The pants.
Yeah. He's like, hey, look, remember when that one guy replaced the good guitar player from Red Hot Chili Peppers that was like a douchebag, but he was dating that hot chick from Baywatch, so everybody was interested in him? Dave Navarro. And then they named that planet Navarro because we love him so much. We love Dave Navarro so much. We're gonna name a planet after him, and we're gonna copy the mustache. Like that could be.
I got that dude confused with Dave Grohl for years.
Really?
Yeah.
Dave Grohl looks
Daves.
like a little like mutant.
They're just some of the Daves I know, Jason.
These are the Daves I know. I know. These are the Daves I know. It's true. Then I'm sure fans will be elated by the casting, and it's a big testament to Mickelson's acting chops, as he'd be the only member of the Rebels voice cast honored with the chance to portray the character he voiced in live action. Ashley Eckstein voiced Ahsoka in both Rebels and wait a minute of Rebels. So he's making a difference between Bo-Katan, I guess. He's saying like Bo-Katan is a clone.
Yeah, he's just saying, he's the only one to come over, you losers.
Because Bo-Katan was in both. But Ashley Eckstein voiced Ahsoka in both Rebels and Clone Wars, but Rosario Dawson, dope stick Clerks 3, was in the role back in 2019 and had the good experience Mandalorian, blah, 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 blah. Industry stuff, casting stuff, names, more shows, more names, more shows, more names.
Look, Google's gotta feed the algorithm, buddy.
Yeah,
300 or something more.
Okay, so a bunch of people and names. Mark also made additional claims on the series. Mark claimed that Zabrax, the Maul species, are appearing in the Ahsoka series, and once again, not really like a big deal. They were in Kenobi as well. I mean, like a big role in a big like fight in Kenobi during that Breaking Bad sequence, played by the guy who plays Darth Vader, are appearing in the Ahsoka series as stormtroopers. So we're gonna have as stormtroopers now. That right there is like the way it's worded is just really. It stated that their uniforms feature the colors of white and burgundy. So these like a Zabrak troop, or do they just put the stormtrooper helmets on and they somehow fit over the horns? Because that happens in Star Wars sometimes. Like they've done stuff that I really don't like. Like there's one where like I saw, was it a comic book? I know this is true. I know this happened. A fucking a Rodian, a Greedo, puts as a stormtrooper. I'm like, no, a Greedo ain't as being a stormtrooper. That shit does not work. That what do they do? Yeah, it wouldn't work. And so. Anyways, he added that. Yeah, right. He added that though he doesn't know if Captain Rex is in Ahsoka. Now this right here is the part.
Could you imagine with those flipper hands? I'm trying to put it into a stormtrooper glove. just like I want to see like the Great Rodian Bake Off where they're trying to make muffins and like peel avocado with those fucking flipper hands in there. Just
also, I don't know
get the tweezers.
I don't know if Bespin Bulletin's aware, but he actually got trolled, and that's just some porn that he's put those pictures. That's not Ezra.
Literally, that's the same look Poggle has when he's pissing in the fountain in Labyrinth.
Guys, am I?
Yeah, he's gone full Poggle.
Am I Ezra Bridger? Okay, I tried.
There you
go. All right. So anyways, he's heard that Lucasfilm has plans for so this is what I kept getting. This is why I made this like the topic of the video, because it's getting around that Captain Rex is in Ahsoka, and this article and what he has said is literally not that. He's added that though he doesn't know if Captain Rex is in Ahsoka, he's heard that Lucasfilm have plans for the character to appear. And like, once again, this isn't a slight on him, but that's saying nothing. Like if they have plans, well, that doesn't mean anything. Oh yeah, it just means they're not saying no. But if they don't have like Captain Rex, the series coming out, like then that kind of thing, it just doesn't mean anything. Oh hey, Dave,
I can clear this all up for you. We're doing a whole thing with Family Feud, and all the clones are gonna be on there, and Rex he just leading the clones. It's gonna be.
I don't believe you, Dave. One time you told me if I did karate in the front yard and posted the videos on the internet that you would put Captain Rex in a show, and I did it, and it hasn't happened yet.
Oh yeah, I totally punked you. All right, why does he laugh like Tigger?
Dave gets his because it's the only thing that Disney still owns from Winnie the Pooh.
TTFL, Tata Filoni now. TTFN.
Yeah. So anyways, Captain Rex though. I mean, I would believe that Captain Rex would show up, but I would say that somebody working on it, like I said, what we know of the story, like I said, I can't reiterate enough. I respect this writer of these spoilers or whatever, so I'm not going against them. But like having somebody who works on the show telling you Mads Mikkelsen is playing your blue grandpa, cool. Like that's something. But that guy is not going to have any information working on it. Going, yeah, we plan on bringing Rex in, unless they're saying, yeah, Rex is going to film in like 2 months. That's different than, oh, we have plans for him. That just doesn't mean anything. It just, to me, doesn't mean anything. So I'm just throwing it out. Like, I think it's, I wouldn't get your hopes up, but it'd be cool if it happened. And it would be cool if he's able to elaborate. So the final claim from the Ronin EIC is that,
hold on. I gotta be James now. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, James. Jiggity James, wake up, James.
Sorry.
The Ronin EIC is that Ezra Bridger would sport a goatee in Ahsoka. Once again, if you have an Instagram account and you looked him up, that's not necessarily any inside thing that would come from
sure that isn't just Spreezy's Instagram?
That is it's Chris Spreezy.
He's always like,
yeah. Does Chris Spreezy just have a stage name? That fucker.
Oh no, man.
The final claim from the Ronin
muscular dudes
EIC is that Ezra
Bridger
would sport a goatee, a claim he would refute, as Amon Esfandi has been sporting the same look since June, which includes a beard and long hair, and blah blah blah. So right here we see it. And one thing that what I wanted to say earlier, though, before Dave Filoni fucking interrupted me again, was that the Darth Vader stuff implies a flashback. And it also implies that there's going to be some sort of like, hey, we know you guys didn't watch Rebels. Here's what that stuff meant. Whether it's in the beginning in one big live action moment, or if it's dispersed through flashes of flashbacks here and there that inform the viewer. But what I'm trying to say is that so Mads Mikkelsen, if he is Thrawn wearing the white uniform, could just be for that moment. And then we might have him shirtless with this guy sucking his dick on a moon. Like, we could have that. Look at the picture. How do we know that's not a spy shot of him getting a blowjob from Thrawn? You don't know. You can't prove it. The burden of proof isn't on me. It's on you because I said so.
All right, Putin. Look, if they were real ballers, man, they would just do all the flashback sequences animated like Kill Bill did.
Mm-hmm.
Like
just cut to the old Rebels footage.
Yeah, but new footage just is animated.
I say just use the Rebels footage with the really good dialogue of oh no, man. So I was telling Bestman about this the other day. Like, when I get immersed in shows with really, really good dialogue, I'm just fine, like, watching those shows. Then I have a hard time whenever I jump over to other shows where the dialogue isn't so good and my mind rewrites it. My mind picks different words that could have been used to convey the same idea better or whatever. And man, when I watch Star Wars Rebels, God, I just fucking, it drives me crazy. It's like they wrote insert idea here and then align like, and then never did the rewrite on the align. That all the time. I mean, continually. It's really bad. It's not that way in Clone Wars. It's not even that way in the shows that came after. It's very strange. But Mick says Ezra definitely gave Thrawn his force. Yeah. Last night I watched the newest episode of Interview with the Vampire. And on it, Louis gets his dick sucked because they're able to get their dick sucks in this one, I guess. And the books, they can't get hard because they don't have blood. You can't get an erection if you don't have blood, And this one, they just do it. So, anyways, I guess back in the old timey days in that story, they call it getting face. But when I first heard it, I thought he said getting force, and I was like, "Wait, what? You gave him force?" And I had to like rewind it real quick. But now it all makes sense. This is what the universe is trying to tell me cosmically. Acid True says, I'm not watching 4 seasons of Dave's drivel to understand this Ahsoka show. No, and nor should you have to. That's why I believe they're redoing it in live action. That's why the Darth Vader team is back. and that's why. So that's what I'm trying to get at is we could have fucking Thrawn in a white uniform and he just always has this pristine white uniform no matter what happens because it's Star Wars. It might go that way, but I don't think there's anything, to really glean from that info based off of the fact that it sounds like we will have a last time on Star Wars Rebels equivalents, because you have to kind of, I don't think you have to do that actually, but I think they're doing it. I mean, Star Wars has always just been like, yes, I knew your father. He was the best dance fighter in the galaxy. They could just do that kind of thing. Star Wars just does that. I know more about Larry than anything at this point. Arl Knott's Larry.
And so do I. I'm more of a Larry guy. I don't really know why people even watch the other ones now. It's the Larry verse is it's more coherent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's in line with my experimental films philosophy. So
I think that picture on the right is definitely the Outer Rim job face that one would make.
Oh yeah. Used to make that jokes with Laddie. Yeah. He came up with Chiz. I just put it in the film, took credit.
You
All
fucking bastard. Chilean Airways says, my favorite part about the Thrawn casting rumor was how they felt the needed to say he would have his traditional white uniform. Yeah. Like I was saying though, like I don't think he would make things up. I've talked to him in the past about story stuff in there, and some people I get the impression that they are thirsty for the info and they're looking for you to justify their idea, their fan casting, their fan math, or what they heard from a source they know is not viable, hoping that you will just say, yeah, so that way they have a means to do it. That guy doesn't do that. So I'm not endorsing it. I have nothing on this, for the record. I'm not endorsing it. I'm telling you though, my read of the guy. Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of feuds, I made up with Tyrant.
You guys are.
It turns out. Well, it turns out that's his real name. His parents named him that, and I just felt bad for him because he has to act that way. So yeah, I mean, my parents named me Rob after people being, looted. But when your parents name you Tyrant, I guess you have to act like a maniacal dictator. So I just let it go.
Yeah,
water in the bridge.
I could see your parents being like, let's name him Loot, and then your dad being like, well, then he's going to play the loot.
Water under the Crimean Bridge, right, Jason?
Oh no. Oh no, this whole time I was thinking he would be wearing neon pink overalls, a frog bucket hat, and a coat woven from noodles. Silly me.
Well, look, even Batman has one of those outfits. So everyone's got something in their closet. Look, and I'm certain Star Wars went through its 70s phase. We've seen a little bit of it. So for all I know, there was a version of those Imperial outfits that went full pimp. Well,
the whole thing is that when we don't see Ezra Bridger for years, and then we see him later on, and he has a big full fucking beard going on, that's when we start to get. That's where I think concepts of being marooned come into play, almost sort of tacitly, or I don't know if people even form it out very clearly, but that's just sort of like where their head kind of tends to go. So if they are there, Thrawn's white uniform, it's safe to say, won't survive, and by the time we see them, they won't be wearing the same clothes. However, I did see him I did see the costume fitting for him, and once again, he had the orange outfit was on Ezra, and an armor piece, and like I could see like the collar kind of look like the Ezra Bridger costume, but a little like the Star Killer cut in a way. But once again, if they do the flashbacks, that would solve that. So I don't feel like I really got anywhere with today's news other than another checkbox from an outlet of it being Lars, and Lars is suited to play the part like Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan. She got the voice role because she was the ideal casting for the character itself. And I think when you cast Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the ideal casting. You know what I mean? From Filoni at that point about who he would have picked to be him. So I can see that one happening.
Jason, we all knew this was going to come down to a Mickelson or a Sarsgaard. You know what I mean? Like one of those families. The Baldwins are out for now. Once you kill a person, you gotta take a break. But it's coming down to those two. Helmsworths are a little tied up, so literally.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, and we already got like 3 Sarsgaards in Andor, like right. So they're all over the place. They're hidden. They're out like Snarf. You gotta find them. They're back there.
As a true. Not as a false, as a true, says, I was dragged into the Rebels panel at Celebration 2017 and saw the episode and I was so bored. I didn't even know what Rebels was. Seeing clips of Ezra being a fool also put me off. Yeah, that's just kind of like it has a really weird pacing. Like I went back this weekend and I don't actually drink beer very often, but I had I really want beer right now. I went to the fridge and I had a couple. So I drank a couple beers. I watched the episode of Andor and I was like, I love this show. It's so good. And then I was like, you know what?
Beer, Jason, is spicy food. You have to pair it with the spicy
That's all I eat is spicy food, friend. That's all I eat.
Then you just got to pair it with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Curry,
I
salsa, whatever.
When Rebels came out, I had some friends who were the biggest sellouts for that show you can imagine. And it honestly, every time the episode would be over, they would contact me, or sometimes I watched it with them. And it just made it where I could not have a critical conversation of it. It ruined the show for me. The social side of Rebels ruined the show for me at the time. So I watched season 4 when it came out and then never really went back to it. Kind of got like the story. Then I saw the end in the theater at a Lucasfilm event, which was pretty cool. And I rather enjoyed it. That was a good time. So all of that said, while getting stink-eyed by a bunch of cunty pieces of shit from the fandom who like to smell their own farts, but I was there, bitch.
I did it. Someone say fart. Das Santa Putin.
Yeah.
Commie Hilfiger. Racist commie. All right, that's enough.
Jason, I never drink beer. Trust me, bro. Ward. But anyway, yeah. So I had a couple beers. I was feeling good. I was like, hey, man. I put on some. I'm like, I really feel like watching cartoons, man. So I put on Rebels, and I wanted to watch the Saw Gerrera episodes, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like it just, yeah. Like I really wanted it to work for me, and I'm not saying it shouldn't work for you if it does or anything. Like I know, like Meg loves it. I love the story. Like if I tell you the story about like what happens, it's like it's cool. But when I watch like there's this moment where it's like kind of exciting. They like take rocket packs and Ezra and Sabine jump out of a ship and they have to free fall onto a radar dish. And then they have to ignite the rocket pack just before they hit. So that way they're not detected by the sensors and the Imperials, right? They fucking free fall. They fucking land, then proceed to stand there for like minutes. Just stand there like they forgot they had a reason to be there. Then they comment, we should get to the mission. And I just go like, what the fuck was going on when they were doing some of this stuff? It must have been the production turnaround or something, It must have been like a fast, like really get it cranked out kind of thing or something. But
there was a lot of crank, Jason.
Oh shit!
All right, come on, it's enough.
Yeah, you got to cut that guy's mic sometimes.
I know sometimes.
Yeah, Andy was cool. Yeah. Yeah, Rebels Recon with my girl Andy Gutierrez. Simpler. Yeah, Andy always seemed like she was too normal to work there, to be honest with you. Star Wars Meg says Santa Claus for Christmas is the emblem of capitalism.
Father Christmas.
Father Christmas.
Oh, tell me about it, Jason. Oh, sad days for Santa. Sad days. They blew up my snowboard. They blew it up. I don't know how I'm going to get around for Christmas. The reindeers, they unionized. I don't know what to do. Oh, God, no. God, there's no Christmas. It's canceled. It's canceled. All right, it's enough.
Yeah, I think I'm about to file elves unionizing under sharing the Kenner Aunt Brew burned up packaging. I think it's time. I think it's time to retire it too. Today, I have a lot of retirement jokes in my mind.
Look, I put that one up with the May the 4th be with you. Like, that's the shit
Right.
that I just don't fucking want to hear no more, man. Like,
I know.
I'm like,
I know. I always have to go. You know what? Like the person who shared it was like it was new to them. It was new to them. Like that time I shared that quote from George Carlin to Santa about him talking about Santa Claus. I realized, as I shared it, I was like, I bet he's got this 300 times today. Star Wars Make says, Jason, to be honest, how many times have you rewatched that scene with Bix? You can't count that high, Meg. No one can. I mean, have you seen the video? In the video,
you need a little version of her when you do your song. You need the lyrics. You need a little version of her so we can follow the Bounty and Bix, right? Like, yeah.
Me and Bestman Bulletin have this like joke that together we can will things to happen, because he and I will have a conversation about something and then it will come true. We it's a joke that we have, and we never talked about Kanye West ever. And we had like an hour-long conversation randomly about Kanye West before this week, like what happened. And then literally like the next morning, all of the prompts started coming on my phone, and I took a screenshot from my iPad and I sent it to him. And then he was laughing because I just got a big picture of Bix on my iPad. Like on my actual phone, I was like, wait, hold on. Let me get rid of that. On my actual phone, it's just my children being adorable, like writing a car together. But my iPad, that's for me. My iPad is for me. That's where I put what I want. I don't have to put that one outside. But yeah, fucking Bix. Hope she's all right. Anyways, I'm kidding. I don't know. I really don't care. But King Chris says rollerblades. Yeah, rollerblades. What the fuck were those about? But
they go. The only people who should be wearing rollerblades are Ninja Turtles. That's it. We need to leave it.
Ninja Turtles
on rollerblades. Yeah, I've always wanted to see it. I drew Donnie with rollerblades recently because I've always wanted. I'm like, they should be on rollerblades.
Yeah,
they should.
No, they should be on skateboards, dude.
But that's it.
Skateboards.
No.
Okay. So this right here is amazing. I don't know how much time you have today, Rob, so we're just going to get right to it, because that was the basic Star Wars news of the
we got 20 minutes.
Day. You got 20 minutes. So this is important. This is really important stuff. Okay. Just want you to know that. All right, here we go. I'm sharing it right now. So this channel right here, by the way, totally worth fucking called Hypnocenter 101. Seems to be fairly even killed and not trying to push any kind of like crazy UFO agenda kind of stuff, but looks at data like pretty fun. But this right here, I started following this, and it just kind of keeps going and getting crazier. But check out, okay, make sure you can hear the audio and stuff. This is pretty cool though.
Go ahead.
We've got a few aircraft going around circles, much higher altitude. Any idea what they are?
No, I do not.
This is around Catalina.
Okay, strange.
Delta 41, standby. And Twilight 670, say the last part again.
Yeah, that looks to be, much higher than we are. They're going around in circles, so maybe 3 aircraft or some sort of aircraft. Just wondering what it is.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I don't know. You're not entering any military airspace or anything. I'm not sure.
This is what Luthen's listening to in that episode of Andor. He just listens to this all night. She's like, get off your fucking UFO Twitter.
Go ahead.
You said 3.
70, Roger. I did report it. Do you have an estimate on the altitude?
They've got to be. From the angle I'm at, they've got to be at least 5 or 10,000 feet above us. They have to be. You join them from even greater than that.
Twilight 670, Roger. And are they just white lights?
They just keep going in circles. I was an F-18 pilot in the Marine Corps. I'm telling you, I've done many intercepts. I've never seen anything like this.
670, Roger. Yeah, I was talking to the operational manager, and the only thing we could think of is satellites, but I'm sure those aren't going to be spinning around.
Yeah, well, that's just like
satellites. They're in a big
It's a satellite
circle,
love.
just going around each other, and then 2 more came in, and then 1 came down.
Hit pause.
yeah.
Hit pause.
670, Roger.
So-
yeah, like,
I can't hit pause. So
Yeah,
when I saw my UFO thing at Irvine in 2008, it was a white light and it headed in the direction of what would be Catalina. Like if you look at the direction it went toward the coast from Irvine, it's like at a diagonal that way. It's like you just keep going, you'll eventually hit Bud's Training Center, Catalina, all that shit. You know, like
Well, I freaked my kids out because I was able to show them our house on this map. Like that's how like you know what I mean, like how close this actually ends
with
up
as
being.
fast as that thing moved, it wouldn't get there it wouldn't take very long.
Yeah,
You know, like.
but this
Yeah.
so what we end up having in this thing though are 2 calls from 2 different airplanes in this instance, seeing
Okay.
the actual like
I
same
said,
thing.
I did report it. I wish I could offer you the answer now, but unfortunately can't. And radar service is terminated and frequency change is approved now.
1 hour later.
And Center American 6.
American 6, go.
Yeah, we see some bright lights now off to the north of us, well above the horizon. Gets real bright and then gets dim, and we've seen it about 5 or 6 different times in same general area, but in different spots. It's pretty weird stuff.
American 6, Roger. And you said that was to the north of you, and how long was it happening? Because I think that's probably the same thing that other aircraft was seeing.
It's happening basically continuously, but maybe 10 seconds apart. Just different bright lights that come on, get bright, and then go dim.
American 6, Roger. Thank you. I'll report that because they were asking up higher if I had any more reports. So thanks.
Beautiful.
And then it basically from there you hear the air traffic controllers just like reporting it and talking to each other. But so I didn't put all of this together, but there's been these various like UFO stories like in the last couple of weeks, and it turns out they're all the same thing. They're all the same general phenomenon, and there's this like air point where when the pilots hit this point in the Pacific Ocean that they're seeing this. And so it turns out we have video from it. And this channel, by the way, though, has like almost a 2-hour long video where you have, I think, 9 different pilots, 27 different airline people now, all with photos and stuff of this same event. Like, and the pilots even like bring in the air flight attendants and stuff eventually to like watch it. Like, you guys seeing this too? Everybody's, you know what I mean, seeing this and like making it completely like, you know, to like vouch for one another. And there's audio though of the pilots of like, I think there's 4 or 5 different planes all kind of clustered. They kind of like get log jammed in this spot going to hit towards like Los Angeles, and they all are seeing it and talking about it. And the audio is like all there, and there's a bunch of video of it. And right here is one
Chinese
of
lanterns.
Yeah, Chinese lanterns.
What? Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? Hey, that
But
was
what?
that
But
was
I
there
mean,
6 months.
wait, did I
Excuse.
pull up? Is this the same video on accident?
Yeah, it's the same video.
Yeah, I think my link got a little corrupted, but hold on. But this channel is Hypnocenter 101, and they posted the short version of the videos. So here it is. Here's like I said, their actual documentary is fascinating, but it's on the very bottom of the panhandle of what do you call it? Like the Big Dipper kind of thing. The light will show up, and sometimes you'll see like a little red light, and that's but they say see it like when it flashes. They say that if the video just doesn't really do it justice, and so it's on the very end of the panhandle there. and then you see it like those two lights, but they just keep popping up. But there's a lot of videos.
The ones
now.
up in the air, the thin ones, those tiny ones, that's what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I saw in Irvine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's like this like, and they say like
only, and it stopped in midair, split into two things, and then moved forward. You know?
Right. Yeah, they say like it almost does like a triangle formation, but the pilots were saying that they didn't think it was a large triangle. They just thought it was, you know what I mean? It was like, yeah, more of a formation. And but there's a bunch of evidence, like that's just sort of like a really brief, like I suggest going to that channel though and like watching that whole thing, like hearing the pilot talk. Oh no,
it was me, Jason. Das Putin, Santa Putin was up in the air just dropping bombs. All right, man, just stop it. It's too much. You know, you cut him off for a month and fucker, he's getting all hyped up for the season. Him and his brother. Those two. It's a whole Santa family.
See, if Meg ever wants to come on, talk about the time she saw a UFO, I'm ready, Meg. If you ever want to, let's do it. I'm ready. But
UFO
history
or
is
alien
wrong.
ant farm, they're not the same thing.
Oh, okay. No, yeah. I mean, right now I'm actually reading the Tom DeLonge book, The Secret Part 1 of Secret Machines. Actually, listening to the audiobook while I play video games. Not reading it. It's not really something that's kind of cool to put on while I'm doing that. And I think like the deep thesis of that is that if there is one, but I think there is, and I think it's that the UFO phenomenon is real, and we are making technology that we're gleaning off of that, which is one reason that they want to keep it secret and that they keep doing shady shit to keep it secret. Because if they're able to glean that tech off of studying it, then I think that's what the book's going for. But when I see this right here, you know, I don't think it's necessarily like the most rational thing to go right off the bat and go, that's an extraterrestrial from a different planet or another dimension. I mean, those could be some kind of crazy drones. There could be some sort of like the TR-3B kind of tech. It could be any kind of weird stuff that we don't want. We could be some new satellite system that we have. But they go into a deep analysis about what the satellites that like satellites that like stay, like we have satellites that
they
will,
orbit in like weird triangle formations and kind of move around randomly
exactly.
Airspace,
no, they,
you know, like that.
they rule out in a pretty convincing way that it's not if it's a satellite, it's no satellite tech that we know of, you know, currently, like publicly. So yeah, but it was super fun, super like interesting thing. And we saw the first pilots, like we saw like pictures of them and all these little tiny stories that were coming out. But that guy on that channel put it all together, that it's all the same. Literally, like the pictures are all the same. It's the same, like it's the same event. And these things tend to happen in clusters. Even Rendlesham happened in clusters. So it's fascinating for what it is. I think this is one that people will be reading about in UFO books in 20 years if we don't really get anywhere. Things sucked.
To be fair, you're gonna be in that drive-through a long fucking time at Popeyes. Like,
okay, sucked.
they
wanna know?
You're not going anywhere.
So Bespin Bulletin really wants to try Popeye's chicken. I don't know why, but he really does.
The best Popeyes chickens I've ever had are at airports because they can't cook in large bats and let them sit there. They have to make them to order. So and if you ever get a Popeyes at an airport, Denver Airport had one last I was there. It's actually really good.
Well, I was looking how much it would cost to go get a bucket of Popeyes chicken and ship it to Bespin. And I think
oh no.
I asked him, do you have an air fryer? And he does. And I could tell you during the pandemic, I started to realize, you know, I'm ordering food, but sometimes it's better just to order a bunch of food and then to reheat it. You know what I mean? As opposed to getting it like delivered fresh every fucking time and tipping every time. So a couple of times we had like big chicken dinners. We got some Popeyes I fucking froze that shit and I put it in the air fryer and it came out fucking perfect though. It actually was better than old Popeyes that you would just get out of on a bad Popeyes thing. So I'm looking into it. I think I'm going to send Bestman some Popeyes chicken. Maybe he'll see a UFO. But are you kidding, Suck? Did you really see a UFO over a Popeyes? Because I cannot think of a better fucking night than a fucking delicious Popeyes chicken in my hand, a Dr. Pepper in the other hand, and a fucking UFO. And I'm just like watching it going, do the manta ray, bitch. Right?
But you're gonna be in that line. It's 10 times longer than a Starbucks line, the Popeyes line. You're just gonna be sitting there waiting for chicken for days. So time to look up in the air.
Yeah, that's true. Sucked. Thank you for the super chat. But and did you really see UFO though? I really have to know if you're kidding or not, because this is important stuff. You know, the Old Republic says might be NASA trying out some new pizza delivery tech. Yeah, that would be cool. New pizza from NASA. Ahsoka,
you're better. It's more of a SpaceX thing than a NASA thing. Let's be honest.
At first, I thought Meg was talking about some like behind the scenes thing, like they went to Popeye's Chicken before filming and there was a picture or something, but she's making a joke. That jokester. Man, I can never do your accents. Air in Britain, we got sausage and mash.
In Britain,
best way
we
in
got
it.
sausage and mash. Best way in it. I thought.
Yeah, bangers and mash. But that's what Meg is watching every time she's on our show, her show, and Santa's show. She's eating some bangers and mash.
I like Yoko. She's pretty cool.
Kate says using time travel portal to send Popeye's chicken to friends. Yeah, they don't got Popeyes over there, so we got to send Popeyes to Wells. That's the only thing we can do.
You can fault in the room, and Yoko doesn't care. Just do it. It's cool.
I was telling him though. I was like, I think if I send you some Popeyes chicken, I might just have to like give you like random weird foods that we have, you know, that he's like wanted to try. Like he listens to like rappers, like he's really into rap and hip hop and shit, and he hears about like food and he'll be like, "Hey, is that actually good?" And I'm like, "Not really,"
No,
but I'll send it to you.
None of it's good. Those poor people have the worst fucking diets. So once a year, when we get Halloween candy in, I partake in trying some of these sweet tarts and shit. All the taste buds are burnt off my tongue, and I didn't have that many. You know, like it's disgusting. Yeah. And nothing tastes right after you have pure American sugar. Like I have a coffee, tastes weird. Everything tastes fucking weird for days. So American food, man, American like junk food is just the fucking worst.
Yeah,
it really is. There's just nothing flavorful. It's either salt or sugar. There's no nuance of flavor. Like that's one or the other.
But our buddy Bestman, I'm gonna out him on the show right now as being a huge KFC fan. Huge KFC fan. And I gotta say, that's why I'm a little bit like see, he wants to try Popeyes, but I can't lie. I'm a Church's Chicken man myself. If I'm gonna die eating some fried chicken from a fast food place, I'm a Church's Chicken man. And that macaroni and cheese at Church's Chicken is pretty good. So
you're just a mac and cheese guy. Like, you know, Galaxy's Edge, mac and cheese. Church's Chicken, mac and cheese.
I don't eat the mac and cheese at Galaxy. It's my
Honeywell, mac and cheese.
But it is only $5 if you get it as a side. And if your kids aren't going to eat their vegetables and shit, just buy the side. You get more macaroni and cheese, and it's cheaper. Save money.
Olive Garden, mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's true. Wait. Okay. Want to read Star Wars Meg's newest message to us?
Here in England, we like to down a pint to 6 before getting stuck in her tea. Can't wait for Kenobi season 2.
I can't remember what it's called, but every now and then I get like a word in my head, like a song, where I just hear this, like the word just kind of gets in my head. And you fucking saying spaghetti was in my head, and I hate your spaghetti. A good spaghetti. I just kept hearing you say that. I'm like,
it's a good spaghetti. I can't wait for a Mario movie with the spaghetti. 90 minutes of me talking like this. I can't wait. I'm all for it, man. Do it.
Turkey, chicken. I pray at your altar. But Kate says American fat and sugar are not real. That's why they taste terrible and you still get addicted.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like I'm still got a sore stomach over, but this is how I teach myself. Like this shit's fucking horrible.
Is that why my ex-girlfriend was fat and not real, tasted terrible, and I was still addicted to her? Oh, hey.
She feels the same way about you, Jason.
Oh, she should. Rob's accent is just Paul McCartney.
Yeah, I'm just Paul McCartney.
Scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs.
Wings is pretty good. I got a Kenobi beard too.
Okay, Meg, is sketty on toast a fucking thing you people do? You people. Yeah, I said you people, and I mean it. If you do that, you are you people. It's sketty on toast.
We like to bake tacos. Have you seen the episode, Jason?
Actually, you know what? I take it back. I can't judge anybody. Remember one time in college, me and my drummer, we went to Albertsons, and they had those big loaves of like of garlic bread with like tons of butter and like Parmesan cheese and garlic and shit on it. You know, it's
and
like
then the garlic.
Thing.
Sure.
And we put it into the oven, and we had made spaghetti, and we just put the spaghetti into it and cut it in half and made it into 2 giant sandwiches. Marijuana, ladies and gentlemen, marijuana. But no regrets. One of the best nights of my life. If there is a heaven and I make it there, I would probably be one of the first meals that Michael fucking gets out that big old horn, calls an Armageddon, puts that in my mouth. Star Wars Make says, I will get stuck in your mum before down in a pine. Copper's chasing me till the morning. I can't do it, so you have to do it.
I feel like Meg in this voice and me could be listening to the streets, playing some 64s and some PlayStations and doing all right.
my guitar is a 64. Also, Paul McCartney song. Think about it. It's all linked. 23. It's real. Time travel is real.
To be fair, hold on. To be fair, the worst Japanese food I ever had was in Little Tokyo in LA.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It was absolutely fucking horrible. So just if you're in the LA area and you want to get some good, decent Japanese food and not overpay, just go to Mitsuwa. Like, just fucking stay away from Little Tokyo. Stay the fuck away from there.
If you're in the Orange County area, Matsu Sushi is the freshest sushi I know to get, and I like to say sushi because
it's all not real sushi though. I told you.
No. Matsu's has real sushi. Matsu's isn't a joke. It's
they
not.
Don't.
Yes, they do.
It's
they do.
fresh fish, but no, they don't.
They do. I
Okay.
promise.
Sure.
Look it up. Hey, Yelp it, motherfucker.
Look it up. Do your own research.
Hey, I did my research. I did my own research. Okay, I'm just telling you.
Okay.
I know. I know who won the election, and I know real sushi.
All right.
Kate says, when the story starts, remember that time in college. It always is a good story. Sometimes
when Jason says he knows real sushi, I just picture that Toad dude from the Mario poster who has that big fish in a bag. Right.
I remember, what was that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill where like they get really fucked up all the time? Where they're like stockbrokers. Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah.
Yeah. I had an experience like that one time. We like played a show, and I think I drank way more than I had really thought. I swear I don't drink a lot. I swear it keeps coming up today. And my friend's mom was on all kinds of meds, and she left. She moved away, and she left it all. And he's like, "Hey, want to take some pills?" And I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm cool." Next thing I know, I'm taking all kinds of pills. We don't even know what we're fucking taking. And I just remember, like, I was looking at the wall, I was fucking seeing spiders. And then I remember trying to go home, and I'm walking home because I didn't live far from him. So I walk home, and as I walk home, a cop keeps slowly following me, and I'm vomiting. I'm very sick. And so the cop would I looked back, he couldn't see me, and I would throw up at a tree and then walk a few, and then the cop would he just walked me. He was like, he knew I was fucked up somehow, but he didn't stop me though. So yeah, the future. Star Wars makes this anything that's more than 2 syllables is too fancy. Beans, toast, beer, queen, knob, bus. These are British terms, or British isms. Okay.
Britishisms. Yep,
Yeah.
Faulted. 2 words, 2 syllables, 2 words. Yeah, fall and Ted. It's 2 words.
Yeah, remember that time that
Brexit's really working out for him. Damn it.
Yeah. I remember when this guy I knew in a band went out with her. I was so mad at him. I was jealous. No, I'm proud jealous, but you son of a bitch.
Since
Star
my
Wars.
stepmother's an alien.
Star Wars makes us. Oh wait, this is you, man. She's really leaning in on this. She's not letting me off the hook on this. She's just fucking.
I feel like there's a special keyboard for this. She's typing this shit way too fast.
Yeah. Got here a little late. What did I miss? Oh, all kinds of stuff, man. You really messed up. I'll fill you in tomorrow morning. Tomorrow we're doing a show, right? We're doing a show tomorrow.
He's got a new movie. How's that coming along, Santa? Violent Nights. Can't wait. Good job,
doing.
Santa.
Oh, I thought Disney Plus is bringing back the Santa Claus. So I'm pretty sure we have to do a bunch of drugs to catch up to the Santa Claus guy. You know what? I don't care either. I never.
How does that work for their whole he was canceled by Disney crowd? How does that work? You remember they canceled him for Lightyear and oh my god, we're canceling it, and then now he gets it. Then what? How does that? Fucking losers.
I don't know. I don't know how any of this is supposed to work. I just keep getting canceled over and over again. That's why. Hello, he says elves for the win. Or I'm going to throw it out.
Was rated by the FBI. I can't get. It's my best joke of the year.
I think he killed elves years ago because I've never fucking seen one in all this time. I've never seen one. You know what I mean? Where are they? Where are they? If they're around. They're not around.
They're sleeping with the snorks, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Jason.
I used to love the snorks. All right. Well, we did our show. We'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
You had to be in the 80s, Meg. You weren't there. You had to be.
Yeah, you're lucky, Meg. The 80s were terrible. They were.
They're kind of like now.
We kind of swung back around.
Yeah.
The Vaselines have a
only
song
without the malls and Toys R Us
called "I Hate the '80s." The '80s were shit, and the chorus goes, "It wasn't all Duran, 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 Duran." That's the chorus of the song, and it's pretty much nails it. That's pretty true. It's kind of like this last couple of weeks all the time.
I only like the '80s when Professor Rock is talking about it. You forget about all the reality of the 80s and you can just pretend you're a kid in Idaho listening to tapes and having a good time.
Sure.
That's it. Professor Rock has it down, but that's it.
I mean, if when you take a whole era and just take it down to a really cute little art thing about what was fun in art, sure. You know what I mean? Yeah, hey, Ninja Turtles.
My favorite interview he did was with what's her face from Heart, right? The brunette. And she goes,
"Wait, is Heart Barracuda? Is that Barracuda?"
Yeah.
They're from Seattle.
Barracuda, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they had a resurgence in the 80s, right? And she goes, well, if you look at the 80s, and she goes, if you look at the drugs in the 70s, it was about expanding your mind. And in the 80s, it was all self-absorbed, like coke. And he was just
yeah.
Drugs.
Yeah. Sure.
The guy's he's so pure of heart.
Yeah. No, I think when they stopped calling the baby boomers the me generation, started calling them baby boomers, I think they got off fucking light. I think they should go back to calling them the me generation because that's what they are. The Old Republic said time travel is real. You got to get into a wormhole and you can explore the past. It's confirmed by Nolan, an Interstellar movie from 2014. What would you change in the past? What would I change in the past? Absolutely nothing. I never want to go back to the past. I hate the past. It's fucking terrible. It was never good. It was always bad. Maybe tomorrow will be better, but Nothing. I would
As
not
I
go
sit
back.
in the world of Nintendo, like, well, actually, I don't know, man. Like,
I don't know, man. No,
some good
no.
consumer commercialism. Commercialism.
Oh,
Santa had his own movie in the 80s. Come on.
my
More, Jason. Oh, Dudley Moore. All right, that's enough. It's too much.
yeah. I lived in a bad neighborhood, and our house would always get broken into, and they would steal my Nintendo. And then my dad would eventually get me a new one, and that's how I got the power pad. After they stole my Nintendo, the power pad just made me fatter. It just made me more hungry. I was like, I ran a lot, now I'm hungry. You know, it did not help.
My neighbors had that thing, and I wanted to try, and they're like, "No, all you do is just put your hands down. You do this. You do. And I'm like, then what's the fun? Like, you're missing the fun.
Meg explaining is better than Meg's spreading, depending on who you ask. Just like I always say, mansplaining is not as good as man spreading if you shave your asshole. Okay, I think we
See what happens when Jason doesn't have scoops.
This is what happens. This is why I need Star Wars.
It started off with leaving Rob alone on the show, and that never goes well. I need to become like Johnny LaRue's Mr. Science or something. Make some coffee. Oh God, my head. Oh man, dude. I watched some SCTV last night, and there's some jokes, Jason, that I was like, how are they gonna get themselves out of this? And they do it, but woo! And Harold Ramis was writing at his top form. I gotta tell you.
It's so bad. King Chris says, what about the Power Glove? Yeah, I had the Power Glove. And then I traded my Power Glove, no joke, for 107 issues of Star Wars Marvel Comics and the first 20 figures perfect with all of their weapons. Yeah. To a guy who looked like LL Cool J, even was wearing the Adidas tracksuit, like with the bucket hat. He was really cool. His name was James. He was cool. He lived like next to me.
What was the best peripheral in the 80s for video gaming, do you think? I think the Light Zapper. No, I think the Light Zapper was, because it actually worked, you know? Like, out of all those stupid, and it had a good feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Max just, it didn't feel right. It felt loose.
I liked it. I liked the Max for the most part. NES Advantage, cooler than it really wasn't really, it didn't really work that well. Looked cool.
Yeah, it didn't really work that well. I actually had an RF version, like a cheap little like radio version that had wireless, right? Mm-hmm. That was better than the NES Advance, so it wasn't that great. But
every now and then with the light gun, I don't know what it is, but I could put the light gun straight up in the air and just fire like in one direction, and I would just like hit the duck every time. But I couldn't always do it. But sometimes I would just do it. I don't know if it was reflection. I don't know what it was, but something allowed me to do that. But
the Sega 3D glasses were cool, but it only worked with like 2 games.
Because I only had Hogan's Alley and Duck Hunt, and so
you
needed. I needed more. I wanted more. I wanted more light gun games. I was always like, I always wanted them. You know, remember how they made like was it Operation Wolf that had like the little Uzi? I always wanted them to like make those light gun games for the Nintendo, and they just wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
they just wouldn't make it happen.
Yeah, you had to use the D-pad. It sucked.
Stupid. Testosterone is trending on Twitter. I thought Jason might have an explanation.
It's trending for you, Meg. Like it's trending for you. So.
Tattoo-strosterone. That's when you put too much tattooing in your Star Wars because you can't stop because you're a real fucking man like Dave fucking Filoni. Right? No? Mm-hmm. That's my girl right there.
All right, that's enough.
Yeah, King Chris. I have more bad deals than good deals, but that one right there was. And I remember that the guy, because he was probably about 18 or 19 years old, and he was very, very much into like rap and stuff, and he kept going like, "Yo, you want to swap?" And I was like, "Swap? What are you talking about?" So swap. He just kept saying swap like it was like his word. And then, James was cool though, like I said, but I just kept saying swap. And I was like, oh, he means like a swap meet. Like you buy stuff, swap.
I was like thinking trading. Star Wars OP. I don't know. What is it?
Oh, and he also told me Sega Genesis is where it's at. Mario is an F word. And every single time he would see me, he'd go by and he would yell at me, "How you doing, Jason?" And I'd be like, "Hey," and he'd be like, "Mario's an F word." And I'd be like, okay, see you, James.
And now he's at January 6th. And
I think now he's
they
probably
tricked
wrapping
me.
his way on some poles, if you know what I mean.
They tricked me good with that Sonic the Hedgehog, man. That's the one that got me into like full Sega conversion. And look, I like the Genesis.
Yeah,
if
I
it
love it too.
weren't for Shining Force 1 and 2 though, I would have felt like I got hoodwinked. Just gonna be honest. Like those are the games that brought me the most love. Everything else was like a glorified arcade game system. Like if you like playing arcade games and didn't want to like mulch your quarters, then you were pretty good. But most of those games they didn't have any like real like depth. They were kind of like surfacey. It's basically it.
My dad got like a really huge tax return the year of the Genesis, and went crazy. Like he bought video game systems and from Best. Remember the store Best?
No,
it was called Best.
We didn't have that.
Yeah. You probably just didn't. You probably went to Zodi's or something. But there was like
didn't have that either.
No, come on, you just forgot.
I didn't. Jason, I don't forget. I don't forget any store I've ever been into.
They were,
Not in San Diego.
Were everywhere. Best, Zodi's, and Gemco. Those were the fucking stores, bro.
We didn't have any of that shit in San Diego.
You didn't have Gemco even?
Nope.
Weird. Anyway,
we had TG and Y's. We had Pick and Saves. We had obviously Target, Sears, Montgomery Ward, Toys R Us, Playco.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking like
Software
true,
Center.
like mid '80s, like the real mid '80s time. But
we only went to Toys R Us for that shit, man.
Okay.
I couldn't. My dad never stepped foot in anything that wasn't a brand name.
The salesman tells my dad, like, hey, kept adding stuff on. My dad kept fucking buying shit. I actually have one of the stupid things right here. I inherited it. This is how stupid we got and opulent. Remember Eye of the fucking Storm? Remember this thing?
Oh yeah.
I got the original, like the real one, like the one from Weird Science. That I think it was in it's in some 80s movies. I don't know if it's 80 Weird Science, but it's in some 80s movies, like the actual one. So anyways, the guy tells my dad, he's like, hey, he's like, if you add X amount of dollars, I'll give you like I'll hook you with like a gift certificate, like rebate. And it was like over like $150 or something crazy like that. So my dad does it. My dad though was like rolling in the dough at the time, fucking puts that shit in his top drawer and just like freaking forgets about it. And then so I had saved a little bit of money. The Genesis was coming out like that week. And I'm like, Dad, I got this much money. Can we get a Genesis? And my birthday's coming. He's all, you didn't have money at that time. When I asked him, he's all, we would need like X amount of dollars. And I hid that fucking gift certificate. And I pulled it out and I was all, what if we use this, Dad? And he was like, okay. Yeah. So I got like a Genesis like the first week that it came out. And it had this picture inside and it promised a modem was coming. And boy, I saw the internet coming with that. I was so fucking excited. I was like imagining playing video games with my friend who moved to Colorado. I was like, oh, that's going to be so fun. Never happened.
The best you got was Sega Channel. Did you ever get that?
Mm-mm.
Talk my dad into this one because I was like, look, Sega Channel's free games. You don't have to rent anything. He was like, So it was like it was with your cable. If you had like Cox cable, you already had Time Warner, and it would plug into the top. It was like a cable modem that had like a little like, it could download games in there. And you'd go on there and they have different games and you could download them and play them all for free. Not streaming, you download them and then play them. Didn't take long because it was on the cable and these things aren't, like what kind of megabyte, 2 megabytes.
Yeah.
So, but they would put games on there that weren't available regionally, like Pulse Man and shit like that. So that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
They had that for like a year and then it went away, but it was great.
Eric Denton is changing the rules here. Because I got to say, you change Al Gore winning instead of George W. Bush, then why didn't you just change it originally? See, we can't change it. We don't have the power. There's nothing that we can do to change it. Therefore, yeah, I mean, if you want to we go down that route, then what do? You just,
they deal with this a little bit in 11/22/63. He's like, if you had $100,000 or $200,000, could you go into an area and basically, campaign to get people who are apathetic to vote, And then the guy was like, well, how would I have $200,000? I was like, well, look, we're in the future. Like, there's ways, like knowledge beats experience every day of the week, so. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the more I think about all this stuff, like, if I was to go back in time, I take the Back to the Future approach. I'd like to see my parents when they were young. Like that I would get the biggest kick out of. Like, just watching my dad be stupid and my mom be like, just, I would never get involved. I just like to see that stupid shit, and then I like to go to an 80s mall. That's about the end of it.
I'll tell you what I would do. I know what I would do now. I'm going to change my story. I get a big old bag of cocaine and I go back and I'd find Carrie Fisher at the right moment. I'd be like, who wants to party?
Jeez.
What? You wouldn't want to fucking party with Princess Leia for the weekend? Come on. Who wouldn't? So we got breaking Star Wars news. Breaking Star Wars news, everybody. Breaking Star Wars news. Get the siren going. Here it is, the breaking Star Wars news. And I loved Ghouls and Ghosts as well. It's kind of chugging a little bit.
Yeah, I loved it. Great name too. The theme, the setting is what kept you playing. Oh, I saw this.
ILM announces. Oh, this is from this morning. I didn't say this until just now.
I saw this.
ILM announces full production facility in Mumbai. Industrial Light and Magic has announced its plans to expand global operations. The former head of studio at DNEG, Bangalore and Chennai, Kiran KP, praised will head a full pipeline studio which will be based in Mumbai. Visual effects division of Lucasfilm is headquartered at San Francisco and has studios in Vancouver, London, Singapore, and Sydney. It will open a full new pipeline studio operating a full visual effects and animation services for film and television in Mumbai to gain access to the talent based in the region, aka people that you could probably overwork. Five global studios consistently operating at capacity and continuing to grow, the time was right for ILM to expand once again and to meet the industry's increasing demand for high caliber visual effects, said Lewin.
Into a tax-free,
yeah, probably.
Tax shelter. Yeah. I mean, look, I guess better off they're making shitty Boba Fett effects and ripping off the elderly, with fucking scams and shit, I guess. But
I was raised to believe that two wrongs don't make a right. Added Rob Brutto, SVP and Chief Creative Officer of ILM. ILM is in high demand from top filmmakers and showrunners around the world. Being able to add more top talent now in our new ILM studio in India is going to help us continue to grow and continue to do the highest quality work on even more exciting shows. We're particularly excited about the talent in India and establishing a top-tier full-service studio as we have first in San Francisco, then Singapore, Vancouver, London, and Sydney.
See what happens when you reward Kenobi with views. See what happens, Jason?
Oh no, it's not. You're not now. If you watched it again, I think it's been talked up more than it is bad. ILM has.
I have friends that live in New Delhi and stuff, dude. They're pretty good tech dudes. There's a strong Unreal community out there. Community out there. So I have no doubt. The problem is with any ultra right-wing government is just what are the work protections for these folks, and I gotta figure out where the big tax shelter scam is.
Right.
A lot of respect for the workers and very little respect for the business side of this.
Yeah. ILM has always been on the forefront of technological and creative innovation in the visual effects industry, and there is no better time to start our studio in India than now, as the Indian VFX industry is poised for spectacular growth in the coming years, said Prasad. It is an exciting and an honor to be part of the ILM team at such a key moment, blah, 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 self-suck. The studio behind the groundbreaking Stagecraft LED system volume stage and shows such as The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett continues to grow. There are over 2,500 artists globally working for ILM as it continues to offer award-winning VFX and animation. ILM's Mumbai studios will work on projects of all shapes and sizes, including live action and animated feature films, television, streaming, and themed attractions. The studio will be hiring across the board with openings posted on their careers page. And then you could go to the careers
all seriousness, though, Jason, I said this a week or two ago. and I feel like this is sort of confirming it. And
Mhm.
what I said, if you remember, is I said back in, every so often in the gaming community, you get these rise of indie devs, people who get disenfranchised with AAA development or, a big studio development. They go and make their own games, they get really big, and then these studios buy those developers up. And what you're seeing right now in visual effects is there's a giant drought. I don't know like what the word is. There's a giant backlog because of COVID and everything else that happened. And what I figured was going to happen is these studios were going to have to start investing in their own dedicated visual effects departments. That the
Mhm.
whole idea in Hollywood, it's been always like outsourced to as many places as you can for the least amount of money possible. And that has, I believe, hit its apex, not just in sustainability of talent, but in like, well, sustainability. I mean, people literally fucking dying. And beyond all that, it's just when they're operating at a deficit, you can't keep shuttering studios. They need to keep them going. So they're going to start to buy up or create their own studios so that they can guarantee that is just working on our shit. Like Disney, Marvel, even the Warners, they're all making a set amount, a pretty consistent amount of visual effects heavy films.
Mhm.
And when you factor in streaming TV that needs a high amount of visual effects, that whole going to the lowest bidder and them going out of business card doesn't work. They're going to start buying up all their talent. And I'm not saying that's going to make life better in terms of like their working conditions or their pay. I just foresee Amazon will have their own studio. Apple will have their own studio. You know what I mean? Everyone's gonna have their own like visual effects departments. The way Lucas set
Well,
up ILM.
I was scammed out of by Doug Chang, who called me up the other day and told me he had an Amazon gift card for me, and I just had to give him my credit card information so that way we can link the cards. So
Look, I told
I had a
you when
friend.
the
No,
email read, Jason, join the chain gang. It's not real. Don't
I
do it.
and
It's
I won't say what production it was, but I have a friend who worked at ILM,
okay.
worked whatever at ILM, and one time showed me about how a shot that they farmed it out to India, and then
Yeah.
brought the shot back in, and then ILM just redid it anyways.
Yeah,
And the
that's
shot was okay, was fine, like from India.
Yeah.
So I have a
Yeah.
feeling
Rob
that
Coleman. Yeah. Yeah. He
but
fixed it.
what they're probably doing, I'm just guessing, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're just cutting out that being a contractor's price instead of contracting it out, paying the contractor's fee for it. They're just buying the fucking company, essentially making it there.
Yeah.
And then I bet you I would not be surprised if it sort of goes that same way, but they'll have the assets that they're using right from the very start. So I bet you upgrading the shots, if it should need to be the case, if that's provided if they're doing that. And as this isn't like a top tier, it could be it could be better than what they're doing in San Francisco for all we know, but it could also be that. It could also be that quick and dirty version, and that they're going to use that as their launch pad for the better version. I don't know.
Yeah. That's how we made Rebel Assault. We sent that out to well, I don't want to name the country, but it came back really poor and we fixed it. And that's why Rebel Assault looks it's very cinematic.
Oh, you're talking about the fabled Mexican Rebel Assault video game that no one ever saw.
Oh yeah. Experimental film. Yeah.
by LucasArts Mexico. The Old Republic, so they will probably be more. Oh,
Hey.
I got that one. Yeah. ILM worked with an Indian facility on the 3D prequel conversions. Yeah, and I saw. I was at the Attack of the Clones showing of that, where you can tell that they were super uncomfortable with the practice and that they weren't very happy with it or the work. They didn't like it as a policy, as something about how the industry worked, and they didn't like the work either. And in fact, I want to say, I could be wrong about this, from memory, I believe that they even believed the Phantom Menace having poor 3D on the Indian work that was done. And
definitely not the time and effort and money put behind it. Just get a bunch of cats working for the least amount of fucking money who've never done something before, hand them some fucking After Effects filters and blame them. Smart.
I'd watch that. I would really seriously watch that though if they put that out.
Like there'd be a version of The Office where Lucas is doing it, right? Like ILM's The Office or something. Yeah.
God, I wish the 3D conversions would just fucking leak already. They're not going to put them out. Just leak. So I watch
fucking streaming, man.
Yeah, it would be fucking fun just to watch Revenge of the Sith in 3D tonight. They even I think I told you they even rebuilt Anakin's face in CGI so his eyes are more sunken in when he turns into like Darth Vader. So it's still Hayden Christensen's eyes, but they moved him in. It looks fucking cool. It looks cool. But
I'd
anyway,
like to see it. Don't want to listen to the dialogue, but I'll watch it. Yeah.
Hey.
What?
Fair enough. we'll be back tomorrow.
Lucas says, "Look, hold on, George. Were they meant? No. They weren't meant to be heard. You're not supposed to listen to them. Just Johnny's music and the pew pews and the boom booms and the spaceships.
All right.
They're not supposed to talk. The less I talk, the better off this show is too, right, Jason? So.
Let's cleanse.
You okay? You all right?
Went too far.
How far is too far?
That was a plan. Just
Some of it. You're gonna need to. What?
All right, we did it. We did it.
I love this show. I mean, it's not as good as my show, but it's pretty good.
That's fair.
Okay.
But Dave, we'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. And then
Sorry.
we'll stay up tomorrow night with Rob to watch Andor at midnight. Rob's going to stay up, he said he was really excited about it. No, not tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow's the heist, though. Tomorrow's the heist. Yeah. Everybody knows.
First thing in the morning. It'll be. I will get my coffee and I'll stay up for this shit.
I think the animated show's out tomorrow too, isn't it? I think it might be out tomorrow.
That was on the 26th.
I could be.
Hey,
you're right.
Werewolf by Night. It's fucking awesome.
Man,
you haven't seen it, so you can't say. So
I watched the first half hour. Having a hard time getting through it.
You're nuts, bro.
I'm about halfway into it right now. About halfway into it.
It's a shame you don't like it because I fucking love it. So
maybe it picks up. And I haven't. Really
no. If you don't like it, it's 54 minutes. If you don't like it a half hour in, you ain't liking nothing, Jason. So it ain't for you. Yeah, I love it.
I don't think it's for me. But anyways, I'll try to watch it though. I'll try to watch it, and then
please don't. It's not for you. What?
You can't tell me to watch it and tell me don't watch it. Do I watch it or do I not?
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. It's not for you.
It's the end of the show.
come on, let's go.
Hey! It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go.
Hey! It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go. It's not about spaceships.